Decided not to use it.
Well, that's right. I said,
I think we were going to reverse it, but I think people aren't going to.
okay, let's see.
That was, as long as the light's off, it's supposed to be good. Yeah, we're good to go.
Do you deal with any companies? You deal with a lot of them.
No.
I think she might, I don't know. Back in the day, we used to use a phone book. Phone book with it.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Mount Olive Township Council Workshop Meeting for March 10th, 2026. Can you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silent reflection? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. You may be seated. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by sending timely notice to the Daily Record and the West Morris Reporter, and posting notice on the bulletin board of the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey. Additional notice has been posted on the Township website and sent to those individuals requesting the same. Roll call, please.
Mr. Aaron?
Here.
Mr. Ferrante?
Here.
Mrs. Labow?
Here.
Mrs. Lalama? Here. Mr. Mania?
Here,
Mr. Ruggiero?
Here.
Mr. Roman?
Here. Okay, first item on the agenda is we have a couple of proclamations. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Council President. The first proclamation I have is recognizing the month of March 2026 as Sudden Unexplained Death in Childhood, SUDC. Whereas sudden unexplained death in childhood is a sudden and unexpected death of child 12 months of age or older that remains unexplained after thorough investigation, including complete autopsy and clinical history review. And whereas SUDC most often affects seemingly healthy, sleeping children, it causes predictability and prevention remain unknown, leaving families without answers. And whereas approximately 418 children in the United States were affected with SUDC in 2024, representing a profound and often overlooked public health concern. And whereas variations in death investigations and certification practices make it difficult to determine the true incidence of SUDC, underscoring the urgent need for consistent national standards and improved data collection. And whereas the SUDC Foundation is a registered 501(c)(3) organization, serves as a leading global resource for families and professionals, providing all services at no cost while raising awareness, funding research, and advocating for improved understanding of SUDC. And whereas the Foundation supports research and funding, independent and external studies, endorsing scientific work, and participating in public and organizational advocacy effects to uncover the cause of SUDC. And whereas the families remain at the heart of the Foundation's mission, and its work emphasizes community connection and remembrance, ensuring that no family walks in the path alone. And now, therefore, be it resolved, I, Jonah Castro, Mayor of Mount Olive Township, do hereby proclaim March 2026 to be recognized as sudden, unexplained death in children throughout Mount Olive Township.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You got another one?
Next proclamation is proclaiming the month of March 2026 as National Nutrition Month. Whereas the Mayor's Wellness Committee in the Township of Mount Olive is committed to fostering a healthy, active, and thriving community for all residents, and whereas recently the Township of Mount Olive was awarded a Health Town to Watch designation by the Mayor's Wellness Campaign and a statewide community health initiative, and whereas National Nutrition Month, established by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, is an annual campaign held in March to encourage informed food choices, balanced eating habits, and overall wellness. And whereas good nutrition is essential to maintain long health, prevent chronic disease, support mental well-being, and enhance the quality of life for individuals of all ages. And whereas the Mayor's Wellness Committee works throughout the year to promote healthy lifestyles through education, community programs, and partnerships that empower residents to make nutritious choices. And whereas increasing the awareness about the importance of nutrition strengthens our community, supports our local health initiatives, encourage residents to take proactive steps towards a healthier living. And whereas during the National Nutrition Month, communities across the nation come together to highlight the values of wholesome food, physical activity, accessible nutrition resources for all. And whereas the mayor and mayor's wellness committee encourage all residents to prioritize good nutrition by making mindful choices, embracing balanced eating habits, and supporting a healthier community. And now therefore be it resolved, I, Jonah Castro, Mayor of Mount Olive Township, do hereby declare March 26th to be proclaimed National Nutrition Month throughout Mount Olive Township.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And we have two presentations for employee recognition.
Mr. Geiger, would you like to come up?
He wants you to fix something.
There you go. I was gonna say, it was upside down, I figured help me out. Anyway, sometimes you are, but you know what? How many, 20 years of service? 20 years. 20 years plus. Well, we thank you for that, so I want to read this in for you. It's resolution of the Township Council in the Township of Mount Olive, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, honoring John Geiger for his 20 years of service, commitment, and dedication to the Township of Mount Olive. Whereas the following distinguished service with the New York Port Authority Police Department, which ended after he was severely injured by a drunk driver while on duty, John Geiger brought his dedication and work ethic to the Township of Mount Olive as a public works laborer. And whereas his leadership and skill led to the promotion of Parks, Grounds, Building and Grounds Foreman in 2013, and whereas John Geiger has served the township with exceptional dedication, bringing proactive problem-solving, careful attention to detail, and deep commitment to public service to every project he undertook. And whereas his leadership and commitment has significantly enhanced the township's special events, recreation amenities, municipal facilities, strengthening the quality of life for the residents and visitors alike. And whereas his work on the splash pads, sports fields, has left lasting and meaningful impact on the safety, functionality, and enjoyment of community spaces that will continue to be enjoyed for our community for years to come. And whereas John has consistently gone above and beyond, assisting other departments and our residents, John's remarkable expertise, outstanding service, and steadfast dedication have left a lasting mark on the township. He will be sincerely missed by the fellow employees and by many residents who have come to rely on his guidance. And whereas the Township of Mount Olive has been fortunate to have John serve in the township and Public Works for 20 years and extends a heartfelt congratulations on his retirement. And whereas John looked forward to traveling and enjoying time with his family, his wife Bridget and son Timothy and his wife Michelle, his beloved grandchildren Ryan and Eleanor, and his son Kevin and his fiancee Angel. And therefore be it resolved by the mayor and the Township Council of the Township of Mount Olive, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, that John Geiger is hereby recognized and honored for his dedication and service, commitment, contribution to the Township of Mount Olive. And thank you, John. I got through it pretty quick. And I thank you personally for keeping the shelves in my office perfectly straight. You did a great job.
Yay, John.
I just wish to say thank you for giving me the tools over the years to make my job easier. There was a lot accomplished, and I hope it continues through the years when I'm gone.
Thank you, sir.
John, I know I speak for the entire council, past and present, when I say that you have been a tremendous benefit and pleasure to have as an employee. It's going to be a long time before we can find somebody up to your caliber. Thank you.
Oh, my gosh.
We have another employee recognition.
Thank you, Council President. Yes, we have two employee recognitions. The first one is for Eric Kraus. The township proudly recognizes Sergeant Eric Kraus for his 20 years of dedicated service to the community and the police department. Sergeant Kraus's career reflects a deep commitment to public safety, professionalism, and service to others. Sergeant Kraus began his career with the department as a communications officer, where he played a critical role in supporting police operations and ensuring that officers and emergency personnel had the information they needed to respond effectively to calls for service. Through hard work, dedication, and a strong sense of duty, he transitioned from communications into a sworn law enforcement role and steadily rose to the ranks in his current position as sergeant. Prior to joining the department, Sergeant Kraus honorably served 4 years in the United States Air Force as a military policeman, where he gained valuable law enforcement and leadership experience. And we thank Sergeant Kraus for his 20 years of service. I don't believe he is here, but we thank him. Next is Viviana Letelier. Please come up. All right. The township proudly recognizes Viviana for her 10 years of dedicated service as a senior transportation driver with the Health Department. In her role, she has provided reliable and compassionate transportation services to members of the township's senior community. Her hard work ensures that residents are able to attend medical appointments, access essential services, and remain connected to the community. Through her professionalism and kindness, she has built strong relationships with the seniors she serves, many of whom rely on her not just for transportation, but also for reassurance and friendly conversation. She is especially valued for her ability to effectively communicate in Spanish, which has allowed the township to better serve and connect with Spanish-speaking residents. Her communication skills help ensure that all members of the community feel comfortable, understood, and supported when using township services. Over the years, she has also become known as the eyes of the township. Through her daily interactions and time spent traveling throughout the community, she often notices issues when something in the community requires attention. Her willingness to report concerns and look out for residents reflects a genuine commitment to the well-being of others. So, Viviana, thank you very much for your service. Sure.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
Okay, we're on to the more exciting part of this agenda. So I'm going to give a 30-second recess. If you want to leave or stay, it's up to you.
Anybody want to escape? Go now.
All right. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Viviana has to clean her own health department car and bus off.
You see him hit, she hit him.
All right, next item on the agenda is going to be our resolutions. We have one separate resolution that's going to be put for public hearing in the next meeting. Does anybody have questions on that resolution? Andrew, can you brief us on that resolution, 100?
Sure. So we have funding available through a grant to start the interior restoration of the Seward House. As part of the process, we pre-qualify bidders before we go out for bid. So we need to have a public hearing on those qualifications. So this is just part of the process.
All right, thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
I do.
Yes, Mr. Ruggiero.
Yes, Mr. President. Andrew, what exactly are the pre-qualifications? Is there a list that we could have?
It should be attached in your packet. Due to the nature of it being a historical project, there are certain criteria needed by the contractors to be able to bid with experience in historical construction. So that's why we pre-qualify bidders. And then once they're pre-qualified, they get approved, and then they have the opportunity to bid.
Any further questions? Okay, so we have 18 resolutions. Does anyone have any questions on any of the resolutions?
A couple.
Yes, Mr. Aaron.
105-2026, do we have a date when that's going to be open? This is specific to the dispensary in town.
There's a grand opening, I believe, on Wednesday or Thursday of next week, so it should be shortly after that.
So-
I know The police department did their inspection, they have all their other approvals, so it's in the very near future.
Excellent. And then on, let's see, where's the soccer field? Sorry, just trying to find it now. With regards to the soccer field maintenance, we have seven turf fields that we're going to do maintenance on, and that'll go to about $18,400 to the taxpayers. Do we recover that through a player maintenance fee or a
Yes,
fee
so,
back to the
so the
associations?
associations pay I believe it's a $15, or it could be $25 per person registration fee, which goes to the township. So we do use that money towards maintenance of the fields, as well as paying for staff if they're needed to attend. So yes, it is recouped.
Excellent.
Thank you. Anyone else have any questions on the resolutions? Andrew, on 106, is this the first time for this vendor?
No, so we've been using Tigris now for, I would say, about 2 or 3 years. We were using Aquatics Analytics. They got bought out by Tigris with the same personnel, with some additional employees, so we continued the service with them.
All right, thank you. All right, anyone else?
Why don't we just talk about these now or later?
Actually, we'll wait till the public.
Okay.
All right, we have no ordinances for first reading. We have 5 ordinances for second reading. Does anyone have any questions, comments on any of the ordinances for second reading? Okay, seeing none. We're on to old business. Does anyone have any old business? Any new business? Okay, we're on to our first public portion. Does anyone from the public wish to be heard? If so, step up to the podium, name and address for the record, unless you're exempt under Daniels Law.
Good evening. My name is Doug Cohen. I live at 6 Aldersgate Circle. So I was here a little over a month ago to talk about the sewer odors and the ongoing issues with Mount Olive Villages. So since that meeting, I have kind of kept some notes. Many times I did report these things to DPW, but the Cliff Notes is 15 times when I was home. I either smelled it in my yard or inside my house. And usually when I smelled it inside my house, it was in the morning. So my house was like buttoned up all night long. So if I didn't smell it at night, it intruded into my house, and there's nothing I can do to stop that. So I know that the township is doing what they can, but I think the bigger issue here is there's at least, I don't know, a half a dozen, if not more times where these things happened on the weekends and usually at night. And I have pleaded with the DEP to be able to dispatch people on the weekends or at night when we know it's more likely that they will be able to, confirm these things when I'm home and I'm not at work, things like that, because I need to be there, they need to be there, and the smell needs to still be present. But they still have not done it. I don't know what it will take. I've asked and asked and asked, and they said, well, if it gets bad enough, we can do it. It's been 3 years. So I don't know if the town can put any pressure on them to be able to, send people out at night and on the weekends when we know this is a recurring problem and when I'm going to be home and be able to do that. Because my pleas to them have gone unanswered, right? And I don't know how much more I can deal with this. And at this point, I mean, if I try to sell my house, I'm going to take a loss. And then what? Maybe I can try to hire a lawyer and sue the company 3, 5, 10 years later. Maybe I get a little bit of that money back, but what does that do for me, right? That just hurts me. I enjoy living in this town and I want to continue to live in this town, but this has been really difficult, so.
Mr. Cohen, I think there's nobody up on this dais that does not empathize severely with what you and the residents are going through. Unfortunately, because of pending litigation, there's not much we can comment on. Sue, do you have anything you can add on this as of right now?
I do not, but I can certainly check in with John.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, I can tell you that I've reached out multiple times to ask for an in-person meeting with them, which no response. We're having difficulties reaching out to even our liaison right now. But there is a pending lawsuit, as they mentioned, which hopefully in March will be, that's when we're looking at it. It was postponed until March. Understand the frustration. Believe me, I can smell it when we come by. It's a difficult situation because our hands, like you know, are tied, and we feel bad for the residents as well, everyone, but it's the same problem. We're dealing with the state, which is just, it's absurd that it's taking this long. We're trying every way possible. I will reach out to them again, and Andrew will as well, to see if we can do something with the weekends. And that's all we can do is keep trying and trying, because we've done everything we can within the law. And it's sad that we have to wait this long for it, but we are doing everything, trust me, that we can, and hopefully something will come of this in the next month, and at least we'll have some answers.
Yeah, it's incredibly frustrating when I submit a complaint on a Saturday and I get a call Monday at like
Yeah.
5 PM.
What good is that?
Like, the ship has sailed. right?
Yeah, no, I understand completely, but we'll keep you updated and find out. We're gonna keep pushing them again. I keep
Yeah.
sending emails. We keep trying to get in touch with them as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
I
you,
could
Mr. Carl.
smell it on the way here tonight, driving by.
It gets
I
bad.
can record it, but they're not gonna find it
They're
tomorrow
not gonna
because I'm gonna
find
be
it.
at work.
I
so-
know, it's awful.
Could I ask, John, and so if you can give maybe the council an update, if you talked to John. John had talked about going back, the judge had changed that we had gone to initially, and there was discussion about going back to the court
They are going in March.
in March.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
so there's
scheduled and put
some
off. Now
activity.
it's March.
So March will be going back
That's what
and
we're
pleading
hoping
our
for.
case again.
That's
to
what
the new
Jonathan
judge.
told us all.
Okay.
It's going into March, and that's what we're waiting on.
Perfect. I think
Yeah.
that's helpful for the community as
Right,
well.
that's all it is, yep.
All right, thank you. Does anyone else from the public wish to be heard? Again, step up to the podium, name and address for the record, unless you're exempt under Daniels Law.
Hi, good evening. Michael Lowry. Address is 146 Stevens Park Road. And we are new residents as of August 29th. And so we were looking into getting a zoning permit for fencing with regards to a garden, and noticed that the ordinances limit the fence height to a 6-foot maximum. And just doing a little bit of research, we have seen that the deer problem is one of those where the minimum effective fence height to keep them out of an enclosed space is an 8-foot minimum, and there's many other townships in New Jersey and Morris County and others who have a deer fencing exclusion in the ordinance and in the code. I have prepared some draft language around that I think Susan was kind enough to provide to all of you. And this was just something we were looking into because it wouldn't be modeled off of similar townships like Boone Township and Morris Plains, who have this permitted 8-foot. There was actually New Jersey statewide programs to provide funding and such for, agricultural purposes and implementing these fences. These would not be like your traditional picket fence kind of a thing, but they're kind of a woven wire mesh with a high visibility through it. Maybe a 75% or more openness when it comes to that, and kind of blends into the environment. So it wouldn't interfere with sight lines with regards to sight triangles and other types of concerns. Also, they won't be subject to things like the heavy wind loads that could be an engineering challenge with regards to larger fences that would constitute structures. So we are interested in presenting this as a potential adoption into code to emulate what some of the other townships have done to permit woven wire open fence for deer prevention on gardens and agricultural properties. Provided that all the other concerns and things can be adequately addressed within the details. But yeah, that's basically what I'm here to say.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lowry, for bringing this to our attention. I guess the next step is to have legal take a look at it, take on our code, and then make suggestions along from the administration. Correct. And will you inform Mr. Lowry when we'll be discussing it again?
I believe, Sue, do you have his contact?
I do,
Yep.
yes.
Sure.
All right. Yep. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, anyone else from the public wish to be heard? Okay, seeing none, I close to the public. Can I get a motion to adjourn to the public meeting?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
I now call to order the Township Council public meeting for March 10th, 2026. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by sending timely notice to the Daily Record and the West Morris Reporter, and posting notice on the bulletin board of the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, Additional notice has been posted on the township website and sent to those individuals requesting the same. Roll call, please.
Mr. Aaron,
Here.
Mr. Ferrante,
Here.
Mrs. Labow,
Here.
Mrs. Lalama,
Here.
Mr. Mania,
Here.
Mr. Ruggiero,
Here.
Mr. Roman.
Here. Okay, we're on to approval of previous minutes. Mr. Ferrante.
Sure, I make a motion to approve the February 24th, 2026 workshop and public meeting minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Does anyone have any questions, comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Aaron,
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante,
Yes.
Mrs. Labow,
Yes.
Mrs. Lalama,
Yes.
Mr. Mania,
Yes.
Mr. Ruggiero,
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Here, yes. All right, I open the hearing to the public on Resolution 100-2026. Does anyone from the public wish to be heard on this resolution? Seeing none, Ms. Lalama, would you move?
Sure, I'd like to make a motion to pass Resolution 100-2026.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Any council discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Mr. Aaron,
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante,
Yes.
Mrs. Labow,
Yes.
Mrs. Lalama,
Yes.
Mr. Mania,
Yes.
Mr. Ruggiero,
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Yes. Okay, correspondence has been previously provided to council via email. Does anyone on council have any questions, comments on any of the correspondence? Seeing none. We're on to ordinances for public hearing. I open the hearing to the public on ordinance number 3-2026 entitled Bond Ordinance Providing for the Acquisition of a Mobile Stage for the Recreation Utility in and by the Township of Mount Olive in the County of Morris, New Jersey, appropriating $175,000 thereof, and authorize the issuance of $166,250 worth of bonds or notes of the township to finance part of the cost thereof. Mr. Ruggiero.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption and final passage, ordinance number 3-2026.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Does anyone from the public wish to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing none, any council discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Aaron,
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante,
Yes.
Mrs. Labow,
Yes.
Mrs. Lalama,
Yes.
Mr. Mania,
Yes.
Mr. Ruggiero,
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Yes. Ordinance number 3-2026 is passed on second reading, and I hereby direct the clerk to forward a copy of the same to the mayor and publish a notice of adoption as required by law. Next item for public hearing is ordinance number 7-2026 entitled An Ordinance of the Township of Mount Olive, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 347 Streets and Sidewalks of the Township Code to revise safety and restoration requirements for street openings and excavations. Mr. Aaron.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption and final passage of ordinance 7-2026.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Does anyone from the public wish to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing none, any council discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Aaron,
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante,
Yes.
Mrs. Labow,
Yes.
Mrs. Lalama,
Yes.
Mr. Mania,
Yes.
Mr. Ruggiero,
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Yes. Ordinance number 7-2026 is passed on second reading, and I hereby direct the clerk to forward a copy of the same to the mayor and publish the notice of adoption as required by law. I open the hearing to the public on ordinance number 8-2026 entitled Bond Ordinance Providing for Various Capital Improvements in and by the Township of Mount Olive in the County of Morris, New Jersey, appropriating $7,883,900 thereof, and authorizing the issuance of $7,517,205 of bonds or notes of the township to finance part of the cost thereof. Ms. Labow.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption and final passage of ordinance number 8-2026.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Does anyone from the public wish to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing none, any council discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Aaron,
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante,
Yes.
Mrs. Labow,
Yes.
Mrs. Lalama,
Yes.
Mr. Mania,
Yes.
Mr. Ruggiero,
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Yes. Ordinance number 8-2026 is passed on second reading, and I hereby direct the clerk to forward a copy of the same to the mayor and publish the notice of adoption as required by law. I open the hearing to the public on ordinance number 9-2026 entitled Bond Ordinance Providing for Various Improvements to the Water and Sewer Utility in and by the Township of Mount Olive in the County of Morris, New Jersey, appropriating $1,795,000 thereof, and authorizing the issuance of $1,705,250 worth of bonds or notes to the township to finance a part of the cost thereof. Mr. Mania.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption and final passage of ordinance number 9-2026.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Does anyone from the public wish to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing none, any council discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Aaron?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes.
Mrs. Laybow?
Yes.
Mrs. Lalama?
Yes.
Mr. Mania?
Yes.
Mr. Ruggiero?
Yes.
Mr. Roman?
Yes. Ordinance number 9-2026 is passed on second reading, and I hereby direct the clerk to forward a copy of the same to the mayor and publish the notice of adoption as required by law. I open the hearing to the public on ordinance number 10-2026, entitled, "An Ordinance of the Township of Mount Olive in the County of Morris, State of New Jersey, to amend Chapter 550 entitled Land Use of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Mount Olive to establish a new 3100 Continental Drive redevelopment overlay district and to establish development regulations for the same." Mr. Ferrante.
Sure, I move for adoption and final passage ordinance number 10-2026.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Seeing none, any council discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Mr. Aaron?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes.
Mrs. Laybow?
Yes.
Mrs. Lalama?
Yes.
Mr. Mania?
Yes.
Mr. Ruggiero?
Yes.
Mr. Roman?
Yes. Ordinance number 10-2026 is passed on second reading, and I hereby direct the clerk to forward a copy of the same to the mayor and publish the notice of adoption as required by law. There are no ordinances for first reading. We have 18 consent resolutions. Does anyone wish to move any to non-consent? Seeing none. Ms. Sharp, would you educate us on some of the resolutions here regarding affordable housing?
Certainly.
Yeah. Off.
Oh, I'm already off. I think most of these are at the end. They're the last four. The last four. So 15-2026, this is the resolution that endorses the township's fourth round housing element and fair share plan. So this is one of the final steps you need to take. The planning board adopted the housing element, and now the last step is that the council reviews and endorses it. And this is basically amending the housing element to comply with your settlement agreement with Fair Share Housing Center. So that's the first one. Number 116 is adopting the township's amended fourth round spending plan. You already have a spending plan associated with the third round. This is simply updating it. The spending plan is what is telling you what you can spend your trust fund money on. So all the development fees that come in, there are regulations about what you can spend that money on. Certain administration is covered, and this is basically updating that. 117 is adopting the township's affirmative marketing plan. The affirmative marketing plan is, think of it as the way to get the word out about your affordable housing to the people who are looking for affordable housing. So it's making sure everybody is aware. So it sets forth regulations as far as advertising, getting the word out to make sure that the people who are looking for the housing can get it. And then the last resolution, number 118, is authorizing an update to your rehabilitation program. This is going to continue your existing program with Habitat for Humanity and also allow you to engage in additional programs going forward and update all those regulations to be in compliance with the fourth round. And I also wanted to mention that I know Chuck had asked that one of these have a veteran's preference, the affirmative market, and that has been incorporated. So I wanted to confirm that.
Perfect.
And that is all I have.
Thank you very much. Ms. Lalama, would you move the consent resolutions?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move consent resolutions 101-2026 through 118-26. 2026.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Does anyone from the public wish to be heard on any of these resolutions? Seeing none, any council comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Aaron?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes for all, but I'll abstain on Resolution 104-2026.
Mrs. Lebow?
Yes.
Mrs. Lalama?
Yes.
Mr. Mania?
Yes.
Mr. Ruggiero?
Yes.
Mr. Roman?
Yes on 101-2026 through 104-2026. Abstain on 105-2026. Yes on 106-2026 through 118-2026. Okay, we're on to motions. Ms. Lebo, would you move the bill list?
The bill list? I
Bill
move
list.
the bill list for approval and final passage,
Thank
or
you.
acceptance.
Is there a second?
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Does anyone on council have any questions, comments on the bills? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Aaron?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes.
Mrs. Lebow?
Yes.
Mrs. Lalama?
Yes.
Mr. Mania?
Yes.
Mr. Ruggiero?
Yes.
Mr. Roman?
Yes. Okay, we're on to administrative reports. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Council President. Recreation is in full swing. We've got a lot of events starting coming up in April. Check the calendars for, everything is toward the 250th anniversary of our independence. Hidden Treasures will be taking place on Saturday, April 25th, so you can mark your calendars for that. Several more businesses are opening this week. We went and visit Flanders Pharmacy, which is an old-fashioned pharmacy down on 206 in the shopping center there. We have the Sweet Spot Dispensary will be officially opening next week, and there'll be a new Double Zero Pizza. You probably saw that. It'll be opening as soon as they finish what they're doing there. So we continue to have businesses come into Mount Olive and fill up what little space we have, because we're doing well with that, so that's great. Reminder, if you want to register for the town hall meeting, which is Wednesday, April 8th, 7 p.m. at the senior center. It's on the property taxes. Our panel will be our business administrator, Andrew, Joe, our CFO, Teresa, tax assessor, and Judy, the tax collector, and myself. Registration is required. You can go to mayornicastro.com and they can register. And while you're there, you can also sign up to receive the mayor's newsletter, which is also at mayornicastro.com. Lastly, a job fair is going to be held on Monday, May 4th at the Senior Center. I think it's around 4 p.m., but we'll get the time. We already have a lot of businesses coming there, and I'm sure we'll do well with that. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Andrew, you have anything?
Thank you, Council President. Yes, Morris County announced their plans for milling and paving in 2026. They will continue to pave Flanders Road from Ilias Drive to Flanders Netcon Road, and they'll be back down in the Main Street Flanders Netcon Road area as well for paving this year. Also, about a year ago, you may recall, we engaged a new engineer, H2M, to do a dry line feasibility study to see what the feasibility is of activating some of the dry fire hydrant lines that have been installed in town. This study was particular to the Pine Ridge Manor dry system, which is near Quarry Road, Teresa Drive, Victoria Drive, and that development. The draft report has been submitted. We need to discuss it internally before we bring a recommendation forward to the mayor and council. The news was reassuring that it is a possibility to activate the lines. It didn't take into any consideration the current condition of the lines that have been sitting dry for 20-plus years, but there is an engineering possibility of activating those lines. So more to come on that.
Andrew, if we were to go down that road and start bringing some of these lines on, is there a check, I guess, in place to make sure that before we make a tremendous investment in bringing these online, that it can hold water, that after all these decades?
That would be the next step, is to bring in a contractor and to pressurize the system. We recently did that in the Pershing Estate Development and realized that all the lines needed to be replaced, and it wasn't worth activating. So yeah, that would be the next step before we would make a recommendation.
Okay, thank you.
And Andrew, in your, once you're done with the internal review, is it going to include the projected cost, and who's going to bear the cost of those
Yes,
improvements?
the draft report did have 4 or 5 different alternative solutions, all with a cost associated to it. So yes, that will be available.
Thank you.
A few more. Elizabethtown Gas is replacing gas lines near Bridle Lane, Sherry Lane, and Karen Place. They're replacing over 2,100 linear feet of main and reconnecting 27 services and 28 meters. They will be doing that work starting March 16th during normal business hours, Monday to Friday. So if you live in that area, you could expect some construction activity. Also, we were made aware that FEMA has made funding available for the last blizzard, which was Winter Storm Hernando. We did submit a claim in the amount of $207,000. This covers township expenses, Board of Ed, and two churches also. We've submitted claims on their behalf, so hopefully we get some money back from FEMA. And I'm happy to announce that the Health Department was able to secure another $220,000 from a public health infrastructure grant, so we'll be able to insert that into the 2026 budget and offset our operating costs. That's all that I have.
Thank you very much.
Alex, if I could?
Yes, Mr.
Just real quick, on the gas line project, does that fall under the new discussion we're having about repairing the entire road, or is that still going to be the?
So when the road opening permit was issued, it was issued under the old ordinance. However, during the pre-construction meeting, it appears that they're gonna have to cross over certain sections, so they're kind of already committed to do, corner to corner or curb to curve if they end up zigzagging all over the place.
Perfect, thank you.
And I walk that area frequently, so I'll report back. All right, we're on to our last old business. Does anyone have any old business?
We did discuss, I had asked when the police were, during the budget process, we were talking about getting an update on some of the statistics of accidents and warnings, deaths, over the focus on 46 and 206. I haven't seen that yet. If I missed it, that's my bad, but it would be nice if we can get the new chief to give us an update.
I believe there was something that might have been submitted, but I will follow up. I also know that today they, again, initiated the zero, maybe you remember what it's called. Goal Zero. What is it? Goal Zero. So we had everybody out, even desk officers were out on the road. The chief was out issuing warning, so he'll give all the data on that shortly as well.
Someone asked me this morning, why cops are up and down 46 all morning from 7 o'clock? Now I don't like it.
Luckily, I was not on the road. Any old business? Ms. Laybell?
I don't know, I guess it's old business. I just wanted to say that after all the years, we've been waiting for some of the lights to come online. The one just before the Bud Lake Diner going west, that one's finally working, and they actually put up a walking pedestrian light is working. So it's like, wow, it had been covered with black plastic bags for, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years. So that's off and they're working. So that was exciting news, some progress there. So hopefully the rest of them will be done. So that's it.
Thank you. Does anyone have any new business?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Ruggiero.
Thank you, Mr. President. I noticed that there's been a tremendous amount of accidents on Route 46 and Wolf Road, and there was just another one this weekend. Have we done any studies or any inquiries on what exactly has, I know the traffic pattern has changed, the lights have changed, but they seem to be increasing, and it's becoming very concerning, the amount of accidents there. Andrew, has there been any investigation into that?
Well, I know the mayor did recently reach out to the DOT asking for them to either change the timing or to add another turn signal. I believe they rejected that.
Rejected that one. I had asked for a turning light up by Enzo's,
Right.
because the left turn, we don't have one going the other way, but they said it doesn't warrant there. And I asked them about timing of the lights right now, because the way the road is, if you're waiting at one of the businesses coming out, the lights always shift. So people are either coming this way or this way, it's never where there's a space they can leave, but that, they didn't get back on that one. But I'm still pushing them for, as I mentioned earlier, the road diet. I did reach out to them again, and I'm gonna continue to hound them like I did with the traffic lights. My ultimate goal is to get that to be a 2-lane road with a turn lane in the middle, which is very difficult. They're gonna commit to, but I'm gonna keep pushing them. Because like I say, I don't care how long it takes somebody to get from the diner to the other end, as long as they do it safely. So I'm gonna keep pushing them, but we got our obstacles, but we'll just keep fighting.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I can tell you, Councilman, so I drive that intersection every day, and I've been hit almost 3 times, not hit, but almost hit 3 times. What happens is,
I
my
did apologize.
observation, what's that?
I did apologize.
Yes. Come on. So, so the thing that I observe as I approach the intersection from either side is that as soon as drivers get close to Enzo's, there's a straightaway going down towards the Gauntlet. I call the Gauntlet on 46, going into Hackettstown. And it's a straightaway. There's no place for police to sit. It's all green. It's all the protected area. And if they're yellow or close to it, they accelerate. And some of these cars just go by at probably 60, 70 miles an hour.
Absolutely.
They're flying through. And I'm a big believer, I've said this before, people should be afraid of speeding in Mount Olive. We need to put police, we got to figure out a way to put police down there, and just ticket till we can't write another ticket. And because they get off at 80, they're headed into Hackettstown, they're cutting through Mount Olive, Bud Lake specifically, and they are flying.
You're
And
absolutely right.
It's got to stop. I don't think it's, and I don't think changing the speed limit has anything to do with it. You have to get the drivers where it hurts. We just have to issue ticket after ticket until they stop. Make it hurt.
Mr.
That's the only
Mania?
thing I could think of.
I agree with Mr. Aaron. I drive 46 quite a bit. I'm doing 45. It passed me like I'm standing still. We need to have drivers be cognizant. When you go through Mount Olive, you better not speed.
Agreed.
Andrew, Mr. Mayor, is there any way to inquire to the chief if we could get some more police presence out there? Before somebody seriously gets killed or hurt.
One of the suggestions that was made a few years ago was for red light and speeding cameras.
Which we can't do it.
I thought it was illegal in Jersey. I think it's still, I think I remember something about being illegal in Jersey, the light cameras, because that would help, but I don't think they can give out.
Not a
tickets.
fan, but
With
that
the
would
cameras, but
that would
yeah.
definitely slow everybody down.
At least maybe at the most dangerous intersection in town. Maybe that's what it warrants. Maybe for a period of 6 months, if we can do it for a short period of time, just to try to stop this.
What about the signs that show people how fast you're going to kind of grab their attention? No?
I would probably disagree with that on 46 because it'll be a distraction. You know, you're looking at the road and then you're trying to see, oh, my speedometer's off.
I don't think it would be any more of a distraction than some of the billboards, what have you.
Yeah.
I've asked the police officers over to bring over on Drakesdale, which becomes a speedway in the summer, to put the solar panel signs that read, and it seems to work. So at a minimum, I would ask for that, and definitely police presence is necessary.
All right, thank you.
I always, excuse me, Alex, I always find it interesting if you have your GPS on and there's police ahead, it says police noted in the area up ahead. It's like there's all these warnings about where the police are, but how about warnings about slow down already?
Well,
Just saying.
Well, no, most GPSs nowadays will give you a warning when you're going
Yes, they do. It's like, how do they know? It's like,
through GPS.
yeah.
Slows them down.
Does anyone else have any new business? Seeing none, any legal matters?
Thank you, Council President. I wanted to mention that with the change in the electronic publishing law, which was an amendment to the Open Public Meetings Act, as of March 1st, the township is advertising all its legal notices on the township website, and they are also mimicked on a state website. Thanks to Susan, she has been working diligently to make sure you complied and was successful in doing that, so I wanted to give kudos to the clerk's office as always, and assure everyone that the township is in full compliance with the new law. And that is it.
Thank you very much. All right, we're on to council reports. Board of Education, Mr. Aaron.
All right, so we've been talking about this for the year. The long-range facility meeting is being held on March 16th. It's going to be at CMS. And again, the goal is to bring a diverse group of community members together and walk through the school and understand some of the construction needs of the schools. Also, state aid numbers for the Board of Education will be made available this Thursday.
All right, thank you. Mr. Ferrante, anything on library or recreation?
Library's meeting right now, they're probably just wrapping up, so I'll have an update next meeting. But the Friends of the Library are hosting their book donation day this Saturday, March 14th, from 10 to 3, and Recreation will be meeting next month.
All right, thank you. Ms. Leba, anything on environmental, lake, or open space?
Now, environmental and Lake did not meet, and open space met last night. I was not able to attend, and I got to get a report for that.
Thank you. Ms. Lalama, anything on Board of Health?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Andrew already discussed it, that the Board of Health received an additional $219,287, which goes into their Enhancing the Local Public Health Infrastructure Grant, and those funds offset the salaries of the current health department staff and getting free giveaways at their functions.
All right, thank you. Mr. Maney, anything on legislative or seniors?
Thank you, Mr. President. Nothing on legislative. The Seniors Club, March 17th, they have a social meeting with a corned beef luncheon. April 2nd, a trip to medieval times. May 7th, trip to Wind Creek Casino. June 5th, River Lady Cruise in Tom's River. And we have just 4 new additional members that joined. Andrew, that list I gave you last meeting, any update?
Yes, there was a memo put in your mailbox, so it should be in your stack of papers.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Maney. Mr. Ruggiero, anything on economic development or planning board?
Thank you, Mr. President. Economic Development Committee did not meet. The Planning Board, we had a special meeting on March 5th that was publicly advertised to review Ordinance 10-2026 to see if it adheres to the master plan, and that was found to be in the affirmative. There was a couple little challenges that the developer is going through that will be quickly resolved with some old restrictions from the DEP having to do with the BFAS, but that didn't seem to be too concerning. Other than that, we'll have a regularly planned meeting again on March 12th.
All right, thank you. Okay, we're on to our last public portion. Does anyone from the public wish to be heard? State your name and address for the record, unless you're exempt under Daniels Law.
Hey, I'm Dr. Freelander. I live at 6 Center Street, and I know you're all just so happy to see me again. So, during our last little get-together, I sat down and I discussed and made comparisons to the conditions on a slave ship and the conditions in a Nazi concentration camp, and a first-hand account of what an ICE concentration camp facility is all about. And the reason I've been bringing this up and bugging you every other week is because I have yet to see any type of movement in regards to protecting our township from the predations of ICE. And the reason I say predations is because the first-hand accounts are beginning to mount. I know that a member up here, who I won't single out, said they took umbrage to my account and umbrage to my descriptions. Can only assume because you didn't specify. So I did want to sit down and talk about this a little bit, and I want to encourage people here. I do not stand on protocol. I'm not afraid of your questions. If you want to ask me one, please do so. I am not loath to answer anything that you have to say. Please don't wait until I sit down and then direct commentary at me in a passive-aggressive fashion. So, for those who aren't keeping up, ICE has continued to pick up people who have the appropriate paperwork. They're picking up people who are, frankly, they're citizens. They were born here. They they don't need the paperwork, they shouldn't be picked up at all. They're trying to meet numbers, they're trying to meet quotas. And I was hoping last week that having solid firsthand accounts would perhaps get you to understand that these are not good people. The people that are being recruited for ICE agents, they have 47 days of training. It's not like they're getting associate's degrees and going to the police academy and, getting the appropriate training. They have 47 days of training. They have an open book test, and they don't have any physical exam requirements. They're being picked up at NASCAR events and gun events. So we already know these aren't the cream of the crop that we're getting, and they're lazy. It's very obvious that they're lazy, which means that once Roxbury is up and rolling, they are not going to be traveling far afield. They will be in this area. They will be infesting it like cockroaches. So one of the many things that this town can do, and I apologize, I was not here, so if something was passed, I did not hear yes or no on that. But we can start doing what other towns are doing with this kind of encroachment. We can protect our schools, we can protect any medical facility, we can protect places of worship, and we can make laws that they are not permitted within X amount of feet. And this is just one of many things, but I only have 5 minutes, so I'm not going to go over other ones. Perhaps the next time we meet, we can do it. So there is things that we can do to protect the citizens of this town. Now, I don't know if this convinces you that protection is needed, because I get the impression that you don't believe me. And I'm not asking you to believe it. All I ask is that you go to independent media, or frankly, international news agencies that are not being leaned on, and read the firsthand accounts. People who are just vacationing in Florida, people who are from Canada, these people are being detained. It's not just criminals, it's not just illegal aliens, as we call them, or undocumented immigrants, which is what I would prefer. People are being detained illegally against the law, and pretty much shredding our constitutional rights. So I would like to encourage this council to think about that. Now, maybe on a large stage or a large scale, we can't do anything, but the reason I come here and I bug you like this is because I feel like on a small scale, maybe we can do something. Tell me what you want me to research. I am a champion at research. I had to stand up and defend multiple scientific projects while my peers were shredding me to pieces. If you want, meet with me after this. Tell me what you want to hear in order to persuade you that this is a dangerous situation and no good will come of it. Ask me questions now, if you can think of any, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. So please do so.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Is it allowed? Is this a good time?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I often hear you talk about the township not being responsible in protecting the town. Our job is to protect the citizens.
Correct.
So I don't believe it was the last meeting, I think it was maybe the first time you were here.
Correct.
You talked about what if something happens?
In regard to,
The township not taking action.
then
And-
the
and
citizens' rights will be compromised.
Right, so if you ask us to stop ICE and one of our local citizens is killed by an illegal alien because we stopped ICE from doing their job,
So less
how
than
does that-
5%
how
of
does
the
that
people
fit into
detained
your
have any
equation?
type of criminal record.
What's that?
Less than 5% of the people have any type of, violent criminal record. Less than 20%.
I don't think it matters. One citizen,
But what about the
one person in my community dies because an illegal alien kills them. That shouldn't be here. They're
I've
documented.
been assaulted by a
There's a
middle-aged
7-year-old
white guy.
girl,
Are you gonna
Ivory
pick up
Smith,
all the white guys who-
Maverick Marzen,
just
Alex
because?
Wise. I'm just listing some names.
No,
I
okay,
didn't
go
speak
on.
over you, so I appreciate it. Jocelyn, a 12-year-old girl, Elizabeth Medina, 16 years old, Radoran Powell, 16 years old. Children being killed by illegal aliens. And you're saying you'd like the township to stop the people who will help protect the citizens. Listen,
Please, go on.
I think the debate
like-
is an interesting one, and I do enjoy it. I really do. But I can rest assured that if there is a federal authority whose job it is to remove dangerous illegals, If they take a citizen, then we will be up in arms. Rest assured.
Will you?
Absolutely.
Because I question that.
Why?
Because you're bringing
What has
you're
this
bringing to
council
like,
done to give
hey,
you
if
any example
if
that
an
we wouldn't stand
undocumented
up?
immigrant does X, Y, Z,
Uh-huh.
but frankly, undocumented immigrants or immigrants in general
I'm not
or
saying,
what
I'm
makes this
saying,
country
I'm
great.
saying criminals, illegal criminals, people who are on the criminal list, who
So
should.
do your research, that the police or, the appropriate governing
Mm-hmm.
authority need to get a warrant, need to get the proof, and then need to arrest them in the appropriate fashion,
So they're
not
not
just
citizens.
scoop them up off the
They're not
street.
citizens. They're not legal
If-
citizens.
I'm gonna interject right here,
Thank you,
because
Mr.
unfortunately,
President.
this is not the venue, unfortunately, to go with, back and forth to debate political issues, as much as I love to do it. This is your opportunity as a citizen to address the council.
Okay,
If any council member up here wishes to engage with you offline to quote-unquote educate themselves as you had stated, they are definitely within their rights to do so. And I will repeat my comments from earlier. I support the mission of ICE and any federal law enforcement.
suppose you're the one picked up by ICE. You brought to all of our attention that you are a documented resident of the United States.
I am
Do you
a
think-
naturalized U.S. citizen.
There you go.
And if I
Do
were
you-
ever...
and it has been, many naturalized citizens have been scooped up to meet these quotas.
I
So if
keep
you were
hearing-
one of them, what would you say? Would you still say these words?
Yes, I would. I still would.
You would
Because
be
obviously,
open to being
I would have been
scooped up
picked it up
with
by accident.
disregard for your constitutional rights and placed and
Ms. Freelander,
incarcerated.
we can go back and forth for hours on this, because here's the issue that here's the thing that I've always found with situations and polarizing topics like this. You are trying to change my mind, and you're upset that I won't change my mind.
I'm not upset at anything.
Yes,
You give yourself too much
then-
credit.
Then, I give myself a lot of credit. My mother and my wife would attest to that. But
Being passionate about something and speaking with passion about something does not mean I am upset.
and I love
It means
your
I
passion.
believe in what I'm talking
But
about.
once again, this is not the forum to go a debate and go back and forth on this issue. This is an opportunity for you to state your opinion on any subject to this governing body. You have done so, which, and I give you kudos for that, for your passion. But unfortunately, your time has run out. So thank you very much.
Okay, I look
Alex,
forward to
I
talking to you
have
guys
one
after.
question.
Yes, Ms. Labow.
Thank you. I would just, one of the things that bothers me about all this is I don't really see where any of these ICE agents are getting any kind of training. It's
Correct.
like they become an agent, they go out and go after whomever. And one of the things that really bothers me, seeing on the news the one day, a month and a half ago, when they got a hold of this one guy, they have him on the ground, there was 3 agents on each side, and then the one guy, his face was turned like this, and the ICE agent kneed him right in the face. I'm like, come on, that's not necessary. So my point is, I'd like to see, the change I'd like to see is the ICE agents getting proper training, so they treat no matter who they come in contact with as humans. And that's where.
And that's one of the
mine.
reasons why I think restrictions on near, like, schools and other sensitive areas should definitely be enacted very passively. It doesn't have to be like an act of resistance. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be afraid to stand up to these thugs. Because as you pointed out, no, they're not being trained. They're not being trained in de-escalation techniques. They're not being trained in how to appropriately apply force. And frankly, the situations where force is appropriate. And that's one of the reasons that they're dangerous, because they're given a lot of power, minimal oversight, and minimal training. And it's one of the reasons I think that we do need to collectively, as a council and as a township, protect our people, protect our children. An ICE agent was firing tear gas just 100 yards away from a daycare. We can't do better than that. You bring up, one person here, one person there, who has been harmed by an undocumented person, and then you completely ignore all the other instances where completely passive people
Ms.
were
Freelander, your time
hauled
has
out of their
expired.
cars and of their homes.
Your time has expired. Thank you very much. Anyone else from the public wish to be heard? Seeing none, I close to the public. We're on to council comments. Mr. Ferrante,
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Ms. Lebo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a final comment on this whole thing with the ICE agents. I would feel really good if they actually got some kind of training. And I don't see where they're getting a proper training, but that's I think if they were trained properly, people would go to them for help, not run and hide and fight with them. Just let's get along and get it together. So, I mean, not so much get along, just treat them like they're actually people, not animals to be beat up. And I do think the ICE agents do serve a purpose, but you just have to come to an agreement where, what are you being trained for? What are you doing?
Thank you. Ms. Lalama.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to congratulate John Geiger on his 20 years of service and wish him a very happy retirement. Also congratulate Sergeant Kraus on his 20 years of service, and Viviana, I won't even say her try to say her last name, for her 10 years of service. And I also like to thank everybody who came out tonight to speak and to give us opinions on their opinions.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mania.
I too want to thank John Geiger for his 20 years of service to our community.
Thank you. Mr. Ruggiero.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to recognize, as the rest of the council, John Geiger's 20 years of service, Eric Kraus, and Vivian Letelier. Also, I believe in, just one comment, the dignity of all people, and I wish that so much dignity and emotion was afforded the victims of illegal aliens. So we could all do better as a society. Maybe we need to tone down the rhetoric. In passing comments, we've been alluded to as Nazis. ICE has been referred to as thugs, cockroaches, all sorts of things. So where is the dignity of that? I'd like to know. It is minimizing people, okay, by calling them such names, and that's not appreciated. And as I stated, I believe illegal aliens should be treated with dignity, but also, more importantly, our citizens.
Thank you, Mr. Ruggiero. Mr. Aaron.
Thank you, Mr. President. I too would like to thank John Geiger, who's become a really good friend over the last few years. He's an important and has been an important asset to the township. He's done a tremendous amount of work. I can tell you for all the recreation events, he's always the first person there. He's always the last one to leave. He goes far above and beyond, and at the drop of the hat, anytime I've called him for a particular need in the community, he's always been there. So we're gonna miss John in the community as a contributor. I'm really happy to hear that there's a veteran component in affordable housing. I appreciate you. I've been pretty loud about that. I think affordable housing is probably one of the worst things that's happening to our community right now. It is, I won't even guess that it could be, it is the worst thing. It forces us to put housing in our community that does not allow us to maintain the beauty of our community. It does not allow the township to decide where we want to expand and how we want to expand. And then it's mandated expansion that gives no relief to the taxpayer for the infrastructure, for the police, for the fire, roads, and it just overpopulates a community that just doesn't need it. The component that I'm sad that we did not see in the affordable housing is one that I argued for, which was not only a prioritization for vets, but prioritization for the people in our community who rent, who have a dream of owning a home. There is no prioritization, although we're burdened with this tremendous expansion requirement. We're in our fourth round of expansions. We have to convert 57 acres of beautiful, pristine land now into housing. That there's no component in affordable housing that says if you rent, and for those who don't know, 40% of our population in Mount Olive are renters. They're transient. They've come to our community because we have a great school system, great infrastructure, great Senior club, my God, these events that the senior club is doing, I want to join the senior club, and I qualify now, I hate to say it. But there's no prioritization for residents. So we have 40% of our community that would love to own a home. We have to put in affordable housing, and they don't get first dibs at it. I think that's terrible. That's a huge shortcoming of affordable housing in the state. And while we discuss other issues, this is a real issue in our community. This is one that will continue to plague us for the next decade, at least, as we go through this round, and is going to burden this community with taxes that are going to be crippling for a lot of families. For those that are struggling now, expect when this housing comes on, it's not going to get any easier, because we don't get a lot more money for this housing, as I've asked in the previous meeting. So I'm kind of sad that residents don't get prioritization, but I understand that's not really what it's about. This isn't about community. This isn't about residents. This is about shoving housing into townships that don't want it because it meets a ulterior plan. Those are the real problems that we face in our community.
Thank you, Mr. Aaron. I too want to congratulate Mr. Geiger on his retirement, and he's going to be sorely missed. If you never got to meet Mr. Geiger, that is your loss. He was a tremendous worker, employee, and friend. And congratulations, Mr. Kraus, on doing 10 years, and for Viviana for all she does for the township. Regarding the ICE comments, I keep hearing they only get 47 days of training. I don't know how many people up here actually know an ICE agent. That is factually incorrect. They do not get 47 days of training. I personally know 2 ICE agents that have been on the job for a tremendous amount of time. They are just as well trained as any of our federal law enforcement agencies. Unfortunately, this conversation is extremely polarized, and when you start labeling your opponent, your political opponent, as Nazis, thugs, and concentration camps, unfortunately, that tells me that the debate has been lost. You have ceded all forms of logic and understanding and decided to go hyperbolic. I will say it again and again. I support the overall mission of ICE. I support all our law enforcement agencies. Unfortunately, there are no comments from the stands. If anybody wishes to engage with me on any of these topics, my email, my phone number is public. You are more than welcome to contact me there. And with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Seeing none, meeting adjourned.